32 people were killed and over 80 wounded after 2 Russian ballistic missiles struck the northern Ukrainian city of Sumy on Sunday morning, according to Ukrainian officials. President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attack, calling it one of the deadliest on Ukraine this year, and urged a strong international response against Moscow. Zelensky described the strike as an attack on ordinary people, sharing a video showing bodies, a destroyed bus, and burned out cars in the city center. He noted the timing of the strike, Palm Sunday, as particularly disturbing. Ukraine's Interior Minister 𝐒𝐭𝐲𝐬𝐴 said the victims were in vehicles, on public transport, in buildings, and on the street when the missiles hit. Zelensky's chief of staff, Andriy Yermak, stated that the missiles contained cluster munitions and accused Russia of trying to kill as many civilians as possible. Reuters reported that Russia had not yet commented on the attack. Ukrainian security official Andriy Kovalenko pointed out the strike came shortly after a visit to Moscow by Steve Witkoff, U.S. President Donald Trump's special envoy for Ukraine. Witkoff held talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in St. Petersburg on seeking a peace deal. Zelensky reiterated that pressure on Russia is essential, stating that missiles and bombs won't stop through negotiations alone. Since launching a full-scale invasion in February 2022, Russia has taken control of about 20% of Ukraine. 8 Pakistani nationals were tragically killed in Iran's Sistan-Baluchistan province, in what Pakistan's Foreign Office has condemned as an inhumane and cowardly act. The attack took place in Mayrestan County, around 230 kilometers from the Pakistan-Iran border. According to reports, unknown armed men stormed a workshop Saturday night, tied the workers' hands and feet, and opened indiscriminate fire before fleeing. All 8 victims were motor mechanics and laborers from Punjab. Their identities have been confirmed, including Dilshad Jindwada, his son Danish, and others from Samasata, Musafir Khana, and Ahmed Barist. A spokesman for the Balochistan National Army claimed responsibility, while AFP reported a separate claim from militant group 𝐒𝐭𝐲𝐬𝐿. Pakistan has requested Iran's full cooperation in the investigation and repatriation of the bodies. Officials in Tehran and Za'adan are in constant contact with Iranian authorities, following directives from Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Rishak Dar. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has expressed deep sorrow and urged Iran to arrest and punish the perpetrators. He has also directed the Foreign Ministry to contact the victims' families and ensure the bodies are returned promptly. Iranian Ambassador Reza Almiri Moghadam condemned the killings and called for collective regional efforts against terrorism. Bereaved families in Pakistan, devastated by the loss, have appealed to the government for swift repatriation and justice. Victim Dilshad had established the workshop 7 years ago and was living there with his son, nephew, and other workers when the attack occurred. Tensions in Gaza remain high as the Israeli military confirmed it intercepted a projectile fired from the territory. According to the military, sirens were triggered in the area of Reem on Sunday afternoon, and one projectile was identified crossing into Israeli territory. The Air Force successfully intercepted it, and no injuries were reported in the incident. Meanwhile, international criticism continues to mount over Israeli strikes on Gaza's medical infrastructure. British Foreign Minister David Lammy condemned the repeated targeting of hospitals, calling Israel's attacks on medical facilities deplorable. He said these actions have severely compromised access to health care for Gaza's civilians. Specifically, Lammy highlighted the ongoing assaults on Al-Ali Hospital, stating that diplomacy, not bloodshed, is the path to lasting peace. Echoing those concerns, Qatar also strongly denounced an Israeli air raid on the Al-Ali Hospital, the last functioning hospital in northern Gaza. In a sharply worded statement, Qatar described the attack as a horrific massacre and a heinous crime against civilians, calling it a blatant violation of international humanitarian law. The Qatari Foreign Ministry warned of a potential collapse of the health system and called on the global community to protect civilians and work toward a peaceful resolution. Qatar reaffirmed its support for an independent Palestinian state based on the 1967 borders, with East Jerusalem as its capital. In a related development, the Palestine Red Crescent Society revealed that one of its medics, missing since last month's Israeli attack on ambulances in Rafah, is alive but currently in Israeli custody. The medic, Asad al-Shazra, was last seen during an assault that killed 15 medics and rescuers. The PRCS confirmed his detention and called for his release.